Every morning, I wake up stiff as a board. It takes 20 minutes just to bend my knees. That's what one senior wrote in an online forum. And the truth is, they're not alone. Stiffness doesn't always arrive with age. Sometimes, it arrives with silence. Not pain, but resistance. The quiet kind that makes you fear you're slowly turning to stone. And for many, the mornings become the hardest part to face. But one Japanese doctor saw it differently. And what he did each morning was so simple, so subtle. It shifted everything. We've been taught to accept morning stiffness as normal, but the truth is, your joints are whispering before they shout. Stiffness is information, not punishment. And when you understand what your body is asking for, you can meet it with rhythm instead of resistance. A 2018 study from Aster CMI Hospital revealed something surprising. Stiffness lasting more than 30 minutes each morning is closely tied to inflammatory processes, not just aging. Biologically, here's why. While you sleep, your cortisol levels dip, and that drop gives space for inflammation triggering cytokines to rise, like leaving a rusty hinge exposed overnight. So your joints? They're not breaking down, they're asking to be warmed, not ignored. The sponge cake metaphor. There's something tender and strangely true about how the body feels when it first wakes. For many after 60, the morning doesn't start with a stretch, but with hesitation. The knees resist. The lower back feels like stone. The hands won't unclench. And yet, it wasn't always this way. So, what changed? Think of your joints like a sponge cake left uncovered overnight. When freshly baked, it's soft, springy, responsive, but left out in the air without moisture, it stiffens. It shrinks at the edges. It forgets how to bend. Your joints are no different. While you sleep, they rest. They stop moving. Your circulation slows. The fluid that cushions each motion, your synovial fluid, settles and thickens like cold honey. And just like that sponge cake, your body forgets its softness. Not forever, just for a little while, until it's reminded. The Japanese doctor knew this. He understood that the body, especially after a certain age, shouldn't be demanded out of sleep. It should be invited. So he didn't begin his day with exercise, or vitamins, or even breathwork. He began with a moment of restoration, a signal to his body that it was safe to return to movement. His metaphor was simple. You wouldn't tear a dried sponge to make it soft again. You'd soak it first. And so, every morning, before rising, he practiced a ritual: warm water, a hint of lemon, a sip in stillness, a softness before the stretch. Because the goal wasn't just to move, it was to remember how. And maybe that's where healing begins. Not with doing more, but with meeting your body where it stiffened, and bringing back the moisture it quietly lost overnight. Like sponge cake, your joints don't need fixing. They need reawakening. Gently, from within. The gentle fix: warm water plus lemon. He didn't stretch first. He didn't even sit up right away. What this Japanese doctor did every single morning was far simpler and far softer. Before his feet ever touched the floor, he reached for a thermos beside his bed. Inside, warm water and a few drops of fresh lemon juice. No commands, no alarms, just warmth, moving into the body before gravity returned. Because overnight, as you sleep, your body cools. Circulation slows. The joints, already still, become stiffer, and the synovial fluid, that slippery layer that lets your bones move without pain, thickens like cold honey. Warm water helps reverse that. It relubricates from the inside out. It signals to the body, it's safe to wake now. You don't have to brace. And the lemon? It's not just for taste. Lemon helps trigger gentle digestive awakening, stimulating the liver and cleansing what the body stored through the night. In Ayurvedic practice, this ritual clears ama, a kind of energetic residue that dulls clarity and stiffens energy. One small action, but it begins a cascade. Joints loosen, digestion stirs, inflammation lowers, even subtly. The body receives before it is asked to give. Want to take it deeper? Add a cinnamon stick the night before. As it steeps, it infuses the water with warmth and balance. A A 2008 study found cinnamon helps stabilize blood sugar, and when blood sugar is calm, inflammation eases quietly. And here's the grace of it all. You've done something healing before the day has even begun. No pills, no pain, just a pause. Because sometimes the kindest thing you can do for your body is to prepare it before it has to perform. This practice wasn't random. It was first popularized by Dr. Hiromi Shinya, a renowned Japanese gastroenterologist and pioneer of colonoscopic surgery, known for his enzyme-focused healing protocol. He observed that warm water with lemon, taken first thing in the morning, helped reduce internal inflammation, improve digestion, and soften bowel and joint resistance, not by detox, but by restoring flow and enzyme activation. His clinical observations, recorded across over 300,000 patient cases, linked this habit to measurable improvements in gut elasticity, circulation, and even reduced inflammatory markers. Have you ever hesitated to rise, not from laziness, but because your body didn't feel ready to begin? The identity we carry in our mornings, I feel like a rusty gate. That's what one man told me. Life wants to swing open, but my body doesn't follow. And that image, it stayed with me. Because what he described wasn't just stiffness, it was disconnection. A fracture between will and movement, between intention and execution. You see, the way we wake up says something deeper than we realize. It's the first negotiation of the day, between us and our body, between memory and mobility. And for many over 60, that first moment isn't filled with light, but bracing, a subtle fear. Will I be able to stand without holding the wall? Will I make it to the bathroom before the pain sets in? But here's the part we often miss. That fear chips away at our identity, not all at once, but gradually, the way erosion reshapes a cliff. We begin to believe we're old. That slowness defines us, that independence is behind us, but it's not. Not yet. Because within you still lives the version who used to rise with certainty, who could walk into the kitchen barefoot, open the curtains and say, "Today belongs to me." That version of you isn't gone. It's just waiting for conditions to return. And what if those conditions could begin with something as simple as a cup of warm water by the bed? Not as a cure, but as a message, a whisper to your joints, to your balance, to your sense of self. You don't need to brace. You need to be welcomed back. Because your identity is not defined by pain. It's defined by how you choose to meet the day, even if that meeting begins with gentleness. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine waking up and not bracing. No tension in your lower back. No pause before placing your feet on the floor. Just a gentle readiness, like your body saying, "I remember how to move, and I'm ready to begin." What would that change for you? Would you walk farther? Stand taller when making tea? Would you look out the window longer instead of hurrying toward the day? Because pain doesn't just live in joints. It settles in possibility. It makes your world smaller, one cautious step at a time. But what if one ritual, one cup of warmth, taken before the world wakes, could unlock that shrinking? What if you didn't need a cure, but a soft reintroduction to the part of you that still wants to move freely? Ease doesn't mean doing less. It means doing gently, doing with attention, doing in a way that leaves your body feeling heard. And maybe, before the sun climbs high, before the noise begins, you'll sit beside your bed, sip something warm, and say quietly, "Today I won't rush to prove I'm strong. I'll begin by being kind to what's already trying. Try it just once, not to measure, not to fix, but to feel what it's like to begin your day with offering. A thermos, warm water, lemon, maybe a cinnamon stick steeped overnight. No phone, no rush. Just a moment that says, I'll meet my body before I ask it to serve me. Then wait. Then rise. Slowly. Notice. Is it your knees that feel different? Or your breath? Is it the looseness in your spine or the absence of dread? If something shifted, even slightly, tell us. Which part of this ritual felt like a memory returning? Which part made space, where stiffness used to live? And if there's someone in your life who wakes each morning with a wince instead of a stretch, send this to them. Not as a tip, not as a you should, but as a small bowl of warmth beside the bed, a permission slip in video form, A gentle reminder, the day doesn't have to start with fear. It can begin with softness.